Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome once again to the Ridiculously Lame Wrestling Show. My name is Tony Squares. As always, I'm joined by Mr. Robert Lentini. He's been covering this industry for the past decade and is now a writer for Sports Kita. And this week, we have two pay-per-views to break down, one from WWE, one from AEW. And we're going to tell you whether you should go out and watch and or buy these pay-per-views with how we break down these matches and predict what is to come. But it's a pretty big week in wrestling, my friend. We're on the build to SummerSlam, I guess, in WWE, the next tentpole show for them. And we have a Saudi Arabia show. How are you excited to mess up your daily timeline and watch Saudi Arabia in the middle of a Saturday?
No, it's usually one of my days off, and I have to work on Saturday afternoon all day because of the show. So, no, I'm not excited in the slightest about the show, but we're going to cover every match in detail, I guess.
I don't know about how much detail, but we're definitely going to cover every match. But let's jump right into the WWE side. It's time for the King and Queen of the Ring, and we're starting off in a 5-match card with the curtain jerker, what we would put as the curtain jerker for this match. It is the Women's World Championship match. Becky Lynch is the champion versus Liv Morgan and her sneaky bandana. Bob, tell us about this match and why we should care.
This is probably the one of the, aside from what could potentially be the King of the Ring finals, which we'll get to in a few minutes. This might be the match I'm most excited for on this show because of just because of basically like fan made up storylines. We have no idea that they're even intending on doing this. I'm just hoping. But Liv Morgan's been spotted with Dominic Mysterio's bandana and getting out of Finn Balor's car this past Monday night on Raw. So she's either flirting with both members of the Judgment Day, but she's taking credit for Rhea Ripley's injury. And I think that now is the perfect time because Becky Lynch, to me, shouldn't be champion right now. She lost to Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. It just feels hollow. They should have just given it to Liv Morgan. But now you got to give it to Liv Morgan at this show. You got to let Liv Morgan win. And I want to see Dominic Mysterio screw over Becky Lynch and share a giant hug with Liv Morgan in the middle of the ring, and maybe they'll even kiss. How about that? That's what I want to see. Just so Rhea Ripley, the show cut to Rhea Ripley fuming on via satellite or something. Let's get that going. Let's get that storyline going. But yeah, Liv Morgan, I think, needs to win this match. But knowing WWE, my heart's saying Liv Morgan, my head is saying they're just going to keep the title on Becky Lynch. I think that's what's going to happen.
My head is saying it's a Saudi Arabia show and nothing ever happens on these shows, so I don't think any title changes hands. I'm going with Becky Lynch as the champion, but maybe there's some chicanery, my favorite word to say on this show, and we see the breakup of the Judgment Day coming down the road. I doubt anything happens here, but that anything more you want to say on this? I mean, if you can't tell, I hate these shows that they put on in Saudi Arabia because they're put on as pay-per-views, premium live events. They're put on as big ticket items and nothing ever happens. When was the last time something huge happened in a Saudi Arabia show?
I can't remember, dude. It's usually like Roman Reigns versus LA Knight, and you know Roman Reigns is going to win, or Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul at Crown Jewel 2022, and you know Roman Reigns is going to win, or Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul at King and Queen of the Ring, and you know he's going to win. I agree with your sentiments on these Saudi shows, but as if they're going to keep them at 5 matches, I can like tolerate it. But if they go into like 4-hour territory, it's egregious. But they are just giant house shows.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it. But I have nothing more on the Liv Morgan Becky Lynch match. They need to give the title to Liv Morgan, but knowing WWE, Becky Lynch is going to win.
Let's move on to the our mid card of the day. We have 3 matches here for the mid card, and this one is a very exciting match. Again, it's going to be a house show, but I'm excited to see this match. It is for the Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn is the champion, coming up against now bad Chad Gable and Bronson Reed, which you're going to have to explain to me how Bronson Reed tied into this storyline.
Well, I mean, he's been left off the last 2 WrestleManias. And he's just this giant, big-ass Australian wrestler that they just, for whatever reason, don't seem to believe in. That's what I can gather. They don't give him a real shot at anything. So he's thrown in this. It feels like he's thrown in this match.
Right.
It's between the rivalry is between Chad Gable and Sami Zayn. Bronson Reed has made it known to Sami Zayn that he doesn't give a damn about either of them. He just wants the title. So that's why he's there. He's never won a title on the main roster. So I don't know why he's in this match either. They're not giving him the title. I think he's just in there because to work with 2 smaller guys to throw him around and take 2 cool bumps. That's about it. But
I can tell you why he's there because again, these shows don't matter. Sammy and Chad, this storyline will continue, and
yeah,
Bronson's there to take the pin from Sammy, so Chad doesn't get a loss and is still angry that he didn't win the championship. That's what all I have for this match in King Queen of the Ring. I promise you, we will be
I
talking more in depth about matches that matter, and they're coming up in the other promotions pay per view. What's up, Bob?
well, the other promotion is coming off their worst rated Dynamite of all time. So they're not that hot. King of the WWE. This match is interesting. You're not interested in Chad Gable? Come on. But
I
no.
am. I am. This is a Raw match. This is not a pay-per-view match. That we know what's going to happen. Sammy pinning Bronson, and Chad Gable still thinks he deserves a shot. We know what the next segment is going to be. That's all I got to say. Speaking of the next segments, the next two matches we're going to talk about are the nameplate of the pay-per-view. They're the King of the Ring Championship and the Queen of the Ring Championship. At the time of recording, we still don't know who some of the finalists are for this match, but that does not mean we can't predict what's going to happen in the King of the Ring match. We have Gunther in the finals, and he's going to be facing the winner of Randy Orton versus Tama Tonga. First off, Bob, who do you think should win that Randy Orton-Tama Tonga match?
Well, it's got to be Randy Orton. It would be just a disaster if it's Gunther versus Tama Tonga. Then it would be like a shitty house show. That would be the worst house show ever. No, they have to give Randy Orton this match. I'd be furious if they didn't have Randy Orton. Gunther versus Randy Orton is a badass match. Even if it's just for this King of the Ring, I want to see it. So Randy Orton's getting the win this Friday, unless the Bloodline interferes and they screw it all up.
Like what the biggest bad feud, the biggest bad guy group in WWE is the Bloodline, and if Tama doesn't win this, they have nothing to do with Saudi Arabia pay-per-view. Nothing at all in there. I mean, I think there's a solid chance that Tama Tonga pulls this out, and we get Tama versus Gunther, and it's Gunther's sort of entry into this bloodline storyline. We don't know where Gunther's going after this, but he does want to fight for that top championship, and the bloodline is interspersed in that top championship storyline. So I think Tama has a good chance of winning this. But at the end of the day, we both think Gunther's coming away as King of the Ring.
Yeah, I think it's basically this. Well, he calls himself the Ring General. He even said it. He's going to graduate from the Ring General to the King of the Ring. I just think that's so freaking perfect. That's just such a great line. And he just looks like the King of the Ring. He's a perfect selection to win this tournament. But if it's Gunther versus Tama Tonga, that's not a tournament finals match. That's the first round, and Gunther wins in 2 minutes. Like, I don't know what we're doing with that. And so I'm hoping that Randy Orton gets the win here, and we get like a dream match at the show, because they probably won't go all out. Maybe that would be a great WrestleMania feud down the line, Orton versus Gunther. But yeah, I'm hoping against all hope that it's Randy Orton that emerges victorious and defeats Tama Tonga, and then Gunther defeats Randy Orton this Saturday.
Speaking of hoping against all hope, let's go to the women's side of this. The Queen of the Ring. We know one of the finalists. Is it Lyra? I can never say her name correctly.
Lyra Valkyria. It's interesting.
Lyra Valkyria is on one side, and she'll be facing the winner of Nia Jax versus Bianca Belair. Now, yours truly, Tony Squares. There's no one else I want to win. No percent of me wants Nia Jax to win this match. I have no interest in seeing her wrestle anymore, and I think Bianca versus Valkyria would be an awesome Queen of the Ring final. Is that what we're going to get, you think?
No, this is the one. I think they're going to do some screwing. I think they're going to have Nia Jax versus Lyra Valkyria. I really do, because if you watch on SmackDown, Jade Cargill's daughter was in the front row, and Nia Jax taunted her, and it led to Jade Cargill getting disqualified. She didn't actually defeat Jade Cargill. It was a screwy, stupid finish. I feel like they're going to do something similar on Friday. Bianca Belair's been talking about her knee for weeks on television, out of nowhere, just bringing up her knee. So I think they're going to do that. And I don't like it either. I would much prefer Valkyria versus Belair, but I think they're going to do Valkyria versus Jax. Maybe Valkyria will hit like a huge slam or something, like an Andre the Giant moment on a big wrestler to pop the Saudi crowd. But I just think WWE sees a lot in Valkyria. She just got called up. Yeah, she's having promos with Becky Lynch. They're pushing her, and she's a very talented wrestler. So either way, I think Valkyria would have won if it was against Jax or Belair. But because Belair is not being pushed as a single star at the moment. She's the women's tag team champion. But yeah, I think we're getting Valkyria versus Jax, and Valkyria will win.
Oh, another reason for me to not watch the show. And then the main event The last match on this King Queen of the Ring card, it is the undisputed champion, Cody Rhodes, against Logan Paul, the influencer. Now,
Mm,
I shouldn't say that. Logan Paul has been awesome in his work in the WWE. He truly has. And I'm
yeah,
excited to see these two match up because if there's anyone in the WWE or AEW that can tell a story in the ring, it's Cody Rhodes. And so I'm
yeah.
excited to see these two go at it. However, are you excited by the build that we've had for this?
No, the only thing that I've enjoyed about this build, I don't know if you saw it, but during the contract signing, Logan Paul brought this mustache, ridiculous looking guy who he claimed was his lawyer, and they changed the contract to only have Cody Rhodes' title on the line. But that lawyer, whoever that guy is, world class, best actor I've ever seen. That's the only thing I've really enjoyed about this. This is a giant advertisement for Prime Hydration disguised as a title match, and it's really annoying, but I understand why they're doing it. They're gonna have the Prime logo in the middle of the ring. Cody Rhodes, a Prime athlete. That's all this is. But it's also Logan Paul is he's had 12 matches in his career, which is still just astounding to me. And
I
he's
think
just
11 of them have been excellent, you know?
yeah, he's just a natural. So this match will be fun. But what I said, I made a short about this. I said if this was for the U.S. title, if that title was involved, at least you could have maybe convinced me that maybe Cody could have won that title.
Mhm.
That would have been an interesting result. Now we just know Cody Rhodes is winning and retaining. There's no
Yeah.
way Logan Paul is winning the undisputed WWE Championship this Saturday.
And thanks for coming. That is King Queen of the Ring, the breakdown. I am very excited for this show. Please, WWE, sponsor us, and we'll talk about it more eloquently. Let's move on to the real pay per view this weekend. As Bob said, it's
Oh
the
shit!
worst rated Dynamite in the history of AEW, but a show that I am very excited about in AEW Double or Nothing. We have a gimmick we're going to give you right now. Basically, this is AEW is a promotion that still makes you pay for the pay-per-views. This pay-per-view is $50. So we're going to go through this card and give you the match predictions, give you what we think is going to happen, but also give you a dollar value on how much we would pay to watch this match. It may be zero, it may be $50. And at the end, we will add it up and say, is this pay-per-view card worth the pay-per-view price? And so there's 10 matches we know of on this card right now. One of them might become the pre-show match that they show on YouTube before the actual event. But right now, we're going to go through all 10 matches as if they're on the card, give you a winner, give you a dollar value, and see where we end up at the end. And I can tell you right now, I'm more excited about this card than my friend Bob is. But first off, I want to go with this one. It's the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Jon Moxley in an eliminator match versus Konosuke Takeshita. Now, the eliminator match is one of the stupidest gimmicks AEW has,
Yeah.
where if the challenger wins, he then can fight for the title at a later date. It makes no sense to me, and also really doesn't affect the match at all. Like, rarely does that challenger win. Rarely do we get the second match. If you just call these a championship match, I'd be okay with it. But this match in particular, I'm excited for because both of these wrestlers I tune in particularly for. I'm very excited to see these two guys match up. Bob, what do you have to say? Not a lot of build to this match, but again, don't need a lot of build with these two guys because you know they're going to put on a show. What do you think about this eliminator match gimmick and how this is going to go?
Well, I mean, they give whatever his name is, Konosuke. I'm just gonna say his first name forever.
That wasn't
Takashita.
even close to his first name, but keep going.
Whatever. Disappears for television for a while, and then
Yeah.
he gets a squash victory here ahead of this match. I don't like the eliminator thing. I didn't like when WWE did it as championship contender matches.
Yeah.
I thought it was stupid back then. Let's beat the champion to see if you can beat the champion. It just doesn't compute with me at all. But I'm excited about this match. I like both of these guys. I wish they did more with Konosuke, but Moxley will win this match. I'm picking Moxley to win this match, and they're not even going to continue this feud. Well, I don't know why they just didn't have this as a title match, but I feel like Moxley should win, and I'll give him the victory here.
And how
What
much
about you?
money would you pay to watch this match?
I'd pay $5 on this, but just
$5
because of these.
for this one.
Yeah, I'll go. Just this is one of the matches I'm most excited about on the card. And I don't even know
Amazing.
one of the guys' name. So
I'm
yeah,
I am going different with you on all aspects. I'm very excited to see the match, but I think Takeshita wins, and I think we get this championship battle at Forbidden Door coming next month or with the next pay per view. I could because again, if he wins this, he can challenge for that belt. Moxley is the champion, and I think Takeshita wins in this battle. And maybe there's some outside interference involved, considering Blackpool Combat Club just doesn't appear as a team anymore. And I think Takeshita goes over, and I'm only paying $2 for this match, though. So you're paying more than I am, even though I'm excited for it. Let's move on to the
Right.
next match. Your favorite wrestler, Chris Jericho, who is
Oh,
the
geez.
For the World Now champion. He will have Big Bill by his side, and he's in a triple threat match, my favorite type of match, versus Hook
Yeah.
and Shibata. Now, obviously, Big Bill is going to get involved. Obviously, both Shibata and Hook want to murder Chris Jericho. So I'm excited to see what happens here. Who do you think wins, and do you care?
I don't care. I'll answer that first. I don't care about this match at all, but I like Chris Jericho as a learning tree. It's warming up to me, but I do not care about Hook at the moment, and I don't care about Shibata. I just don't. He's fun once in a while here and there, but I can't get invested in that character, and so I'm thinking Hook's gonna get us. No, they're gonna keep it on Chris Jericho. They're gonna keep the FTW title on Chris Jericho, but I'm at $1 on this one.
$1. Again, more
Yeah.
money than I am. I'm paying 0 to watch this match. I do not care about this match at all, and I've loved the Chris Jericho experience. I just don't care about that man in the ring. I'd rather have him give a promo and make fun of people on commentary at this point. But I'll watch it. Don't get me wrong, but I ain't paying money. I ain't going out of my way to watch this one. I do think Jericho retains, and that's the next one. Let's go to this is just a straight singles match, just a wrestling match, but there is a blood feud here between Trent Beretta and Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy, who is again the AEW MVP of just constantly wrestling and throwing his body and his life on the line out there. This storyline has had a long build to it. I have enjoyed the build. Again, it is definitely a mid-card feud, but there is reasons that these two are facing off. Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta. Bob, do you care, and how much money would you give it?
If I was going to give a $0 value to one match on this card, it would be this. So I will give it to this, and that's not even a shot at. I like Orange Cassidy in general. I just don't like him every show, and it's just too much. And just Trent Beretta, he's okay. He's a good wrestler, just not a lot of personality there. And Chuck Taylor just apparently retired in the middle of this feud. Just a very odd storyline to me. And I just never cared about Best Friends enough. Like I like Sue in the minivan, and that's about it. Like I never cared about Best Friends enough to care about them breaking up, unfortunately. So 0. And I think Orange Cassidy will win because he's the mascot of the company.
I think Orange Cassidy will win as well. I have enjoyed this feud a lot, even with the kind of weirdness to it, and I have enjoyed what we're getting out of this. The thing I don't enjoy is this past Dynamite, and I never enjoy when AEW does this. It's they do it a lot in New Japan as well. But you have the feud, 2 singles matches, and so you tag team the good guys with the bad guys, and they face each other off the week leading up to the match. I never enjoy that because I don't want to see these guys touch each other in a match until we actually get the singles match at the pay-per-view. I get the reason you do that and the storytelling you can have from that, but for me, it's never effective. However, very excited for this match. I think Orange retains, and I'm giving it $3. $3 for this match. Again, we're not getting a
So
lot of money
expensive.
so far. Okay, it's
Price.
not working out so far. Let's move on to a trios match for the Unified Trios Championships that I did not know were unified until they said it's for the Unified Trios Championships, but it's Bullet Club Gold, Jay White and the Guns versus the returning Death Triangle. The build for this has been interesting, but let me just say this before I kick it over to you, Bob. Every time that Bullet Club Gold music hits, I am into it. I think Jay White is awesome. And I think their presentation is awesome. They haven't done shit in this company, and I still care about them, all of them. And even the Guns, who were kind of patsies for the length of their run in AEW. Like, I care about those 3 guys. And as for the other side, Pac is generational talent in the wrestling ring, and then Penta and Phoenix are 2 of my favorite performers in all of wrestling, especially Ray Phoenix. That guy can do anything when he's not concussing John Moxley. I think he is phenomenal. So the build for this has been terrible. I think Death Triangle wins this, and I think we get maybe a little breakup of the Bullet Club Gold here, and we get Jay White moving on to be a single star and the Guns moving on to be a tag team. But I do think Death Triangle returns and gets this, and I am extremely excited to watch this match because I know the quality of the match will be up there. Could steal the show type of a match. Watch it be on the YouTube pre-show and nobody care about it. I don't care. I'm still giving it $5. What do you care about
Wow.
this match? Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, I'll give it two. I'll give it a $2 bill. It's just for everything you just said. It's I like everybody involved. It's all about the build. It's always about the build with me with AEW. They always have great matches. They always have great pay-per-views. It's that weekly television that pisses me off. But
Yeah.
the, I'm yeah, give the titles to Death Triangle. Just get Jay White away from the Bang Bang gang or whatever the hell they're called. The Guns are a great tag team too. They were fun. I enjoyed their rivalry. I think it was FDR like a year and a half
Yep.
ago, whenever. So yeah, but just $2 for me, just because of the build. And I just don't. I have not been able to care one at all about the trios division since it started. So that's just me. I don't know about you, but I have not cared one at all. Just 1 second of my life have I thought about the trios championships. So that's
But
just
you'll
being
pay
honest.
$2 for it, baby. Let's
Hey,
move
I'm
on
paying
now. We get
50
to
real dollars.
let's move on to some of the matches that I think are going to buoy this price line here. And it starts off with arguably the best wrestler in the world, Will Ospreay, facing off for the AEW International Championship against the champion, Roderick Strong. Again, an interesting build to this one. Roderick Strong kind of playing that in-your-face villain when to me he's more of a smarmy type character. And Will Ospreay, again, best wrestler in the world, in my opinion, and this guy can do absolutely anything. This is a $5 match for me. Will Ospreay's on the card. It's $5, period. Like, I'm paying $5 for that match. It can only go up from there. Not too excited in this build. I do not know who wins. My gut says Ospreay, but my head says you got to keep that Adam Cole group standing on some type of power, and that's the only title that they have right now. Wardlow came out, knocked Ospreay over the head at the end of their segment on Dynamite here. So obviously the numbers game is going to come after Ospreay in this match, and can he overcome that? But again, why would you ever give a loss to Will Ospreay at this point? You're building him to the biggest show of all time for AEW when they go to London once again. So I'm picking Ospreay, paying $5 for the match. What do you think about this?
I was pretty much on the same exact thing with you. I was going to say, while you were talking, before you even said it, I was going to say, well, Ospreay is just an auto $5. Just in this game, he's just an auto lock in. It's Will Ospreay on pay-per-view. He's going to put on a show.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the build to this match has not interested me at all. And I don't like, I guess I don't want to see Will Ospreay as the international champion. I want him going for the AEW World Championship, but if it's just going to be a stopgap, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but Ospreay's going to win. You can't give Ospreay a loss right now, and I'll agree with the $5 value. I think you nailed it.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the AEW Women's World Championship. Timeless Tony Storm is the champion, and she is facing off versus Serena Deeb, who is a 2-time in a row winner of the Big Show Heel Turn of the Week. We don't know what she is or how she feels in this world, but she's facing off with the champion. Do you care one iota about this match, Bob?
I really do not. But
Yeah.
I will be honest here. Tony Storm is a great character. Tony
Yes.
Storm is not the issue with this feud. It's
No.
the booking again. And Serena Deeb last night attacked Tony Storm with a shoe. So I guess she's a heel. I
Mhm.
think Tony Storm should be a babyface. She says heel things, but it's impossible to boo that character. It's too
Yep.
brilliant. It's just too much. So I think Serena Deeb should have been a heel all along. I think them not knowing what to do with this feud until last night hurt them. So I'm going to give this match, Jesus. I'm going to go $2 again just because of Tony Storm. But I just, Serena Deeb is a good wrestler. This will be a
Yeah.
fine match, but just the build. $2.
Yeah. I hear you. They had a tag team match, Tony Storm and Mariah May, versus two competitors that, to me, were more like ready to be a championship contender to Tony Storm than Serena Deeb is.
Yeah.
In the way you're telling the storyline and how you've told stuff with Mariah May in the past. But that's just me. I care. I could not care less about this match. This is $0 for me, and I do love Tony Storm, but I'm paying $0 for this. We only got a few matches left, Bob, and we got to make some money here if this pay-per-view is worth the price on the ticket. And I do think this next match will be worth some money. We have complained for weeks about the use of Mercedes Moné in AEW. And
Yeah.
now we're finally getting her first match against Willow Nightingale, the champion. It is for the TBS championship. And they did not do really any. I think they had a video package on Dynamite, but really that contract signing 2 weeks ago was sort of the final period point of this feud leading up to it. I really like how Chris Statlander plays into this. I really like how all these other characters play into this. The injury angle, Mercedes Moné coming back as a heel, Willow Nightingale as the smiling babyface champion. I am extremely excited for this match. This gets $7 from me. I cannot wait to see it, and I cannot. We get to see Mercedes Moné in a wrestling ring again, and I'm extremely excited to see this. It will get the time it deserves. Unlike the Queen of the Ring matches in Saudi Arabia, they respect women where they're fighting this match, and I cannot wait to see it. What do you think about this?
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm gonna give us a 6. I'll give it a 1 less than you. I'm excited for Mercedes Moné's debut. I've loathed. I can't underscore how much I've hated how they've booked her since she arrived at Big Business in March. It's just been ridiculous. They shouldn't have. She should have showed up earlier this month. Looking back on it, if that's all they had for her. But Mercedes Moné should win this match, walk out, debut as the TBS champion. But overall, the build has sucked, but I'm still excited to see Moné and Willow Nightingale. So $6 for me.
Who wins?
Moné. She's going to walk out as champion in her
I
first
think
match of
Willow
AEW.
retains. I think Willow finds a way to retain, and I do think a Statlander turn is happening here. And I know it's dumb to pick against Mercedes Moné in her first match back, but if there's some way to keep Willow as a strong champion, I think you got to do it because she is phenomenal. Maybe Statlander turns on Willow. You know, we still don't know who attacked Mercedes Moné. There's a lot of storyline here that we need to wrap up into a bow here, and I just want to find a way for Willow to retain and Mercedes to still look strong, and I don't know how we do that, but I am intrigued by the possibilities here. Let's move on to my favorite match on the card. I'm not trying to reach 50 here. I don't know if I will reach 50, but I have been talking for weeks how much I like Adam Copeland and the turns that we have been getting to the dark side here. I've talked about how much I've loved House of Black and them looking as powerful as possible here. Kyle O'Reilly again just fed to the wolves on AEW Dynamite to make Malachi Black look ever stronger. Dude, I'm paying $15 for Adam Copeland and Malachi Black in a barbed wire cage match. There's going to be just destruction. There's going to be blood. There's going to be guts. There's going to be gore. And there's going to be two men who are excellent at their job going at each other. And I have no idea where this is going. I have no idea who can come out on top. I have no idea who's gonna turn bad here. There's so many ways, so many paths that can be forged for the future of these two men in this promotion after this match that I am so excited to see it. $15 from me. I think Adam Copeland goes over, and I think we see a bad guy breaking out of his shell here, like a butterfly with his wings. I cannot wait to see it. $15 from me.
That feels high, but I do
Yeah.
I appreciate the excitement. I know you love the storyline. I have enjoyed it as well. It's picked up. I enjoyed the bloodbath last night on Dynamite by Copeland to Malachi Black.
Old
Blood
school,
pouring
man.
from
And that blood looked ugly. Like that looked good.
strawberry jam. It looked gross, but then I feel like we might have a Gangrel sighting at this pay-per-view. I feel like we're going back to the old Brood days with Copeland, and this will be my highest value match, I believe. But I'm not going to 15. I'll go to 10. I don't want to go too high, not too low. But this is the match that means the most to me on this card, which is shocking to me. Looking at these matches, you'd think some of these would have been clicking more, but no. I think you nailed it. I think Copeland's turning heel, or at least getting another chapter in that story. They hinting strongly towards him turning heel. But yeah, I've enjoyed this rivalry, and Copeland. This has been the Copeland's best feud. I've enjoyed this better than his match with Christian so far. So
yeah, I've enjoyed it too. I'm so excited to see what happens in this match. I'm legitimately, whether I add up to over $50 or not on this little game we're playing, I'm buying the pay-per-view just for this match. Like if this was $50 alone, I would have bought the pay-per-view. I cannot wait to see what's going on here. But there's two more matches on the card. They are very pivotal matches. And the first one is the Anarchy in the Arena match. Man, if you wanted shenanigans, do I have some for you? We have Okada, Jack Perry, and the Young Bucks versus Team AEW, that's how they're being billed. Bryan Danielson, Darby Allin, and FTR. We had flamethrowers. We had there was so much going on in that end there. Jack Perry hitting Bryan Danielson fighting Satnam Singh when what I believe is his first singles match on television. And I thought it was pretty dang good for the guy for having his first singles
Yeah.
match. Obviously, he can't do too much. He's 7'2". He's a legitimate giant. And I thought Danielson playing the David versus Goliath role, I was into it. I was really into it. Jeff Jarrett's in there with the guitar, a lot of craziness, but I bought every second of it. The Elite came out, beat the crap out of everybody. Darby comes in with a flamethrower being dropped off by Tony Khan in an SUV. First time we've seen him since he got killed by the Young Bucks. Man, I don't know what's going to happen in this match. I have literally anything can happen. Darby Allin, please be okay. Please be okay. That's all I'm asking for. And these guys, I believe in all 8 of these wrestlers. I believe all 8 of these men are excellent at their jobs, and I'm excited to see them face off. I think the Elite take it, and I'm still paying $10 to see it happen. Bob, what do you think?
I have so much mixed feelings about this match.
Go through it, man. Go through it all.
Well, just because the final 5 minutes of last night's Dynamite, with everything that's wrong and everything that's right with AEW, like in one segment, it was freaking ridiculous. It was absurd. The last 5 minutes of that show, we had Tony Khan just showing up in a broad daylight in the video. They just couldn't film it at night. So it's just broad daylight. He shows up and drops them off. So they dropped him off 7 hours ago, we're to assume. Again, it's ridiculous. But then he comes out with a flamethrower, and the crowd like kind of was reacting. And then Bryan Danielson was like, yes, like trying to get everybody to make noise because they're all like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, this is a wrestling show, right? Like, the final 5 minutes, I loved it at the end because it was so ridiculous. But it's also everything that's wrong with AEW because a person just tuning into that for the first time will be like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's like some guy in a pink coat with a flamethrower running around here.
Half of his face painted.
Yeah, it's just absurd. And he's injured. He just got hit by a bus.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll give this 5. I'll just give it a standard 5 because it will be an entertaining match, but I'm frightened that Darby brought a flamethrower. He's getting set on fire at the pay-per-view. That's the way my brain works. And this guy can't afford to be set on fire right now. He can't go through a flaming table. I'd want him to be attacked before the match and taken out and replaced by somebody else. And I'm worried about Bryan Danielson. I'm just worried. I'm more worried, but I know they're going to deliver, and it's going to be insane. And there's going to be 10 times during this match that you're going to have your hands over your face, like Jesus, don't get hurt. Like that's what I'm anticipating. But I will give it a $5 value just with all associated with it. I can't go up to 10 like you. I just can't.
You brought up a great point, and another reason why I'm putting $10 on the line for this match. That pink jacket is the stupidest looking thing in the world, but it is just furry enough to catch on fire really well, Bob.
Yeah,
that thing will catch on fire well, man. That might be the thing that gets them. Oh boy, you just brought that image in my head. We're definitely seeing that on Sunday.
Yeah.
Last match of the card. I'm not going to tell you where we are valuation wise till the end. It is the champion, Swerve Strickland, and the returning Prince Nana. A great return by Prince Nana, blocking off the escape of the challenger, Christian Cage, who will have Killswitch Nick Wayne and Mother Wayne by his side. Shout out Nick Wayne having a fun match against Swerve Strickland on AEW Dynamite. This is obviously about the numbers advantage that Christian Cage has, and can Swerve Strickland come out on top over that? I was very interested to see that Swerve Strickland was standing tall at the end of Dynamite, because that makes me consider the fact that Christian Cage could come out as the champion after this, but it does not make any sense to me with how much they've built Swerve Strickland and how much he matters to this world of AEW. He could be the guy that carries this company on his back, him along with Ospreay, and I believe everything about Swerve Strickland. I love when Swerve was in the backstage package with the Young Bucks and he's sitting in their chair acting like, king of the world. Like, I love the vibe that Swerve Strickland gives off. He's an excellent wrestler. I want Swerve to win. I'm excited to see this match, and because to me, Swerve is as important as anyone else. I think it's an auto 5 anytime Swerve, especially with a championship. This championship is in the building, so I'm giving $5 to this match, and I think Swerve wins. What say you?
This is one that is one of the most frustrating matches for me.
Interesting.
I like both of these guys. I thought this took a little too long to get going. Like once he brought the family photo out, I think that was last week. I
Mhm.
really started to get invested, but I didn't care about Mogul Embassy betraying
Yeah,
Swerve
no.
Strickland,
Yeah.
like that stuff. And the first he just won the title. The last thing I want to see is like 3 weeks of him getting demolished. I want to see some celebration, and they didn't give us that. So I thought that hurt this. It's the main event. It's going to be the last match of the show, and I feel like there's about 4 more matches on this card I'm more excited for,
Mhm.
unfortunately. So I'm going to give it a 4.
Mm.
It should be closer to a 10 with these two guys, but I just haven't been. It just hasn't grabbed my attention that much yet, unfortunately. And I think the rivalry's about to end. So
Yeah.
that's
And you
that.
think Swerve comes out on top?
Yeah, I don't think you can take the title off of him now, right? You got to give it to. I'd have him carry it till next year. Just keep it
Yeah.
on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
See where it
I hear
goes.
you. Well, rounding up the numbers here. Again, this pay-per-view is $50. We just went through every match, gave each one a dollar value on how much we would pay for that individual match. And does it add up to more or less than the pay-per-view? Is this card worth the pay-per-view price for Robert Lentini? He's paying $40 for a $50 card. So it's under the price
Not
of
too bad.
admission here for Tony Squares. $52, just over that
That's
price of
pretty.
admission. And it's really based on 3 matches: Willow versus
Yeah.
Mercedes, the Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black, and Anarchy in the arena. Those matches alone brought me really high, and I'm at $52. I will be buying this pay-per-view and excited for it. Week of wrestling, 2 pay-per-views, my friend. Before we go to the gimmicks of the week, how excited are you for the weekend here? Are you wishing you didn't have to work, or you think we're going to get some good wrestling here?
No, I mean it's work. It's writing about wrestling. It's not really work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not that.
Yeah.
I'm I'm more like WWE is just kind of like feels like the Walmart of wrestling right now. It's like, all
Mhm.
right, there's the premium live event. All right, there's another one next month. We'll be okay. But Double or Nothing is supposed to be like, I'm not getting that, like, fucking let's go. Like, I want that feeling and I'm not getting it. So that's why I'm disappointed because I want AEW to be back. I want it to be thriving like it used to. And I'm just desperate for that to happen. And I feel like they get in their own way too much. But if just keep delivering good pay-per-views, if they could just fill in the gaps on the weekly television a little bit better, we'd be in business. But that's my thoughts on it.
No,
No, I'm
we'll
not
see.
excited for King of the Ring, and I'm slightly excited for Double or Nothing. But overall, just kind of
We'll see if this weekend exceeds expectations and gives either of these companies a runway to jump off of here. But let's move on and finish the show with the gimmicks of the week. This is when we break down and go into some of the segments that didn't deserve a full 5-minute talking point this week. Obviously, this show was all about the pay-per-views, but there was some stuff that stuck out to us. And we're starting off with the social superstar of the week. Listen, this is a quick shot, but Ty Mello's out there. Sammy Guevara and her got married, had a baby. She's been off television for a while. She's been on social media promoting how she's training to get back into the ring, and then posted a picture of her and a bunch of AEW gals at someone's wedding, and they all look fantastic. And Tony Storm is there, and she photoshopped Tony Storm to look black and white in the photo. Kudos for keeping kayfabe, guys. Just kudos for keeping
well
kayfabe.
done.
Tay Mello, you are the social superstar of the week. Jobber of the week. And I'm going to hand this over to my friend Bob.
Yeah, the great Kyle Dixon. I'll throw his image up here. Kyle Dixon made his debut here, I guess. Never heard of the man. He battled Braun Breaker. He was destroyed and sent home in an ambulance in 2 minutes. Braun Breaker's two of his opponents have been released. Cedric Alexander is the other one, and this guy I've never heard of. So great booking all around. But Braun Breaker is the new Wardlow. He's Wardlow in AEW now. Just squash matches galore, leading to nothing and forever, it seems. But yeah, congratulations to Kyle Dixon. We'll never see or hear from you again. Congratulations on winning this week's Jobber of the Week.
We got to find a way to get the Jobbers of the Week as like a 5-minute interview guest for this show because they're available.
I'll go
They
track
are
them down.
available.
Yeah,
let's finish off with a serious note on this gimmicks of the week. It is the get well soon of the week. Eddie Kingston is out until at least 2025. He has many injuries to his leg. He was in Anarchy in the Arena and then had to be written out of it. Legit injury. And listen, he said he'll be back better than ever. I am uncertain about that because the man he's up there in age. He is not, I'm not breaking news here. He's not the most physically fit when it comes to wrestlers. This is a tough tough
Yeah.
injury to battle back from. So I hope Eddie Kingston gets the rest and recovery that he needs, and I want to see him again, but it's going to be a long time, Bob, and I'm sad about it.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. He's one of my favorites. Just natural on the microphone. I'd love to see him in like a commentary role once he's done. I think he could pull that off and just have his own style, his own unique way of calling wrestling. But yeah, I'm very sad. I was gonna enjoy seeing him in this Anarchy in the Arena. Now we're not gonna see him for a long ass time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's it. Get well soon, Eddie Kingston. Let's finish the show with the headlines of the week. This is when we tell the future and tell you what we all are going to be talking about at this point next week in the world of wrestling. Bob handles WWE. I handle AEW. We both have a pay-per-view to talk about. Bob, interested to hear what your headline is.
Well, it's going to be Gunther must graduate from ring general to the King of the Ring, but I kind of already said that. So I'm going to say the King of the Ring tournament will be a failure if Gunther doesn't win. It's just built for him to win. You do not have Gunther make the finals and lose to Tama Tonga or Randy Orton. Randy Orton has won enough in his career. He can pass the torch to Gunther. It will be a huge failure if they do not book Gunther to win this Saturday.
Does the King of the Ring matter anymore?
No.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It would matter if they book the wrong person to win it. Then people will really care. So just book Gunther to win it and just play it safe.
My headline for AEW is Adam Copeland has broken bad, and we have the evil man back into our lives, and it's a whole new world for Adam Copeland in the future. And I'd love to see Gangrel come out of this. You mentioned it earlier, but that's my headline. Adam Copeland all over the place, bloody, gory mess, and he has broken bad, and we've seen a new version of him. And that's it for the Ridiculously Lame Wrestling Show this week. 2 pay-per-views to watch, and we always finish, because there's a lot of wrestling news, but we got to make sure we check in with the big guy this week in Ryback.